The Night of the Hunter was directed by Charles Laughton and released in 1955. The film starred Robert Mitchum as the charismatic yet psychotic Reverend Powell, Shelley Winters as the widow Willa Harper, and Lillian Gish as the angelic matriarch character Rachel Cooper. In 1955, movies in color were preferred among audiences, and popular stars like James Dean and Marilyn Monroe were in their prime. Night of the Hunter did not have a lot in common with the typical Technicolor and cheery films of the time period. As a movie about the Depression, with protagonists that were children, audiences seemed to shy away from the film's bleak aesthetic and dismal storyline. Although the film was not a commercial success at its time, its value was eventually recognized and it was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry. The film's cinematography is excellent, especially in expressing the duality of good and evil. The film's cinematographer was Stanley Cortez, who worked on Orson Welles' The Magnificent Ambersons. In Night of the Hunter, there is a shot that looks similar to one in another Welles movie, Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane's cinematography was not done by Stanley Cortez, but by Gregg Toland. However, the deep focus in these two shots from Night of the Hunter and Citizen Kane are very similar in their composition and in what the shot composition does to further the explanation of the story. In this scene, Pearl and John are on the run. As they float down the river, they are watched by animals. The incorporation of animals contributes to the film's fairy tale motif, but however, having the animals in the forefront of the shot and in the children in the boat in the back exemplifies the absence of control in John and Pearl's life. They float on to uncertainty and into the wild in the background as the animals stand on solid ground. This is similar to the famous shot from Citizen Kane where young Charles is playing outside while the parents inside determine his fate. He has no control over who he will live with, and this is shown on screen by placing in the background far from the action. Many people think cinematography exists just to make films look nice, but cinematography also contributes to the film's overall meaning. In black and white movies, different tones represent different moral frameworks. In looking at movies, author Richard Barsam says, the distinct contrasts and hard edges of black and white cinematography can express an abstract world perfectly suited for the kind of morality tales told in westerns, film noirs, and gangster films. Morality is the main theme in this film noir, and Cortez uses shadows, light, and other methods to show this. The main example of this display of evil versus good is the scene where Gish sits inside with the shotgun all night fending off Mr. Powell and keeping watch over the children. In this shot, just her face is lit up. In an article for the Criterion Collection, the writer describes her in this scene as radiating from the screen. It's as if God's light is shining down on her, showing that she is righteous and true. The use of lighting in this shot furthers the storytelling and character description of Rachel Powell. Although it might have been a box office flop, Night of the Hunter was sure not an artistic one. As Barsam says in the textbook, manipulation of tonal range makes black and white movies visually interesting, but that isn't all it does. The art of cinematography symbolizes themes and different character emotions, therefore giving the audience a better idea of what the story is actually about.